All right, guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Kian Dowling Davis. Joining me is
Andres Padilla.
and
Ben Langer, and we have a guest.
who is our guest today?
Joseph Campbell.
All right,
Yay, Joe.
welcome back to Three Guys in a Sound Booth. Today our topic is
It's our first episode, dude.
welcome to Three Guys in a Sound Booth, our newest podcast regarding film. Today our topic is how the cinema has changed between 30 years, and we are looking closely at the movie The Blob.
I have
Yeah.
something to say, actually. I have not seen The Blob.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
that's
That's
That's an issue.
yeah, that's definitely an
So,
issue.
There's three versions of the Blob. There's like three.
There's three.
there's
Yeah.
three, but we saw two.
Yeah, there's a Beware of the Blob. But
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah, it's 72. The one thing I know is that like they spend more time in the bowling alley, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, the blob comes through the bowling alley. This
Le
time.
Blob?
is that like where the whole movie takes place?
I don't know. I just looked into it a little bit, and it said like, oh, we're going bowling, and then we're going to like the horror movie.
Yeah.
When did they ever go bowling?
They just said they went bowling.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we didn't see the bowling.
Okay, I was like, what?
What changed in the 30-year gap of The Blob and The Blob?
I can jump in on this. It's so much more gory. Honestly, like the 58 version was like, it was like more tame, and then 88. Oh my god, it was kind of cool. Like the visuals, they were a lot.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of practical effects, and
Mhm.
people got like pretty brutally injured by the blob, and also the blob was less of like just I don't know. They make a joke in the 88 blob, which apparently I guess is supposed to be at the 72 version of the blob, which we didn't see, where they say, "Oh, I like stepped on strawberry jam" or something, because
The line was actually.
He's
Hey,
got
you
it.
wrote
My
it
notes,
down?
Let me consult the notes. It was great. I killed the strawberry jam.
I thought that was really funny.
Speaking of the notes, actually, pass me the notes, Keen. There's one note that I want to point out, and it's when I first looked at it, it was the first one that caught my eye. Jesus Christ, the car scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh
we
my
can't-
god, we can't go into detail about
No,
that, but,
but
that was pure nightmare fuel.
It honestly, it felt more like Lovecraftian, if anything, because like before it was just like gliding around, and then it like had like tentacles, and then it like it. it was,
It literally just
is-
possessed her body.
yeah, it was bad. It's gross.
it was like genuinely kind of like over the top with how I don't even know how to explain it, like
Yeah.
articulate it properly, but I was watching it and I was not expecting that, because the 58 one, the most that happens is like the blob just like goes around people's legs and then they like scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 58. The worst thing we saw was when the blob just like devoured, like just like engulfed the patient zero.
Yeah, probably
But-
just like the hand. I was like, oh, yeah,
That was like that was the worst thing. And then
right.
the 88 blob took it to new heights. Like wow.
That was. I really liked him, honestly. I was expecting it to be like, oh, this is gonna be such a bad movie. Then I watched him and I was like, yeah, it was actually kind of fun. And Steve McQueen, he carries it.
As far as the main characters, well, I don't know, Steve McQueen at the same time, even though he was like good in it, he looks 40. Like,
Okay,
he is
and
not-
your
he
point,
looks-
Steve McQueen is the best.
He's he looks young. He looks young.
For those that don't know, Keen is a Steve McQueen fan boy.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a
Absolutely.
conversation with Kian where we haven't brought it back to Steve McQueen.
Well, okay. Here's my point. Flag, he was just the entire movie, and like Steve McQueen, and like his character was just cool to watch.
Mm.
And like 88 was so cheesy, and 58 was like, oh, this isn't cheesy. That like really. Oh.
What's interesting though is that the 88 does actually have a nod towards Steve McQueen, not actually in his in the Blob movie that he played in, but actually in another movie, The Great Escape, that he played in.
yeah, the motorcycle scene, right?
It was 100%. The gunshots, the way he fell over, that was, and then his amazing jump, that was all a nod to Steve McQueen. This video is sponsored by Boulder Tech Film Production. Boulder Tech Film Production is a class in Boulder Tech where you can go and you can learn different shot types. It's a community where people can go and they can make films and learn more about the film industry. So special thanks to Ash, who sponsored this video. Now let's get back to the podcast.
That's really beautiful, Kian. Do you think the 88 version was cheesy?
See, here's the thing. I get they try to be more modern with the shot type. It's supposed to be faster paced, but also they do it too much.
Yeah, I kind of liked how like simple the 58 version was. But that being said, like I think the effects in the 88 version make up for it.
What I think is interesting though is that they keep referencing heat and cold in the movie. The like scene where the boys go out and it's like, oh, but mom, we don't want to take our coats. It's 1,000,000,000 degrees outside. When Flag goes to the auto shop to get his bike fixed, the auto shop's owner's like, oh, I got a ton of orders for these snowmakers. He's like, why? It's like 7,000 degrees
Mhm.
out. So I
Yeah.
just thought it was interesting because like they foreshadowed it when the 88,
Mhm.
58 didn't. I'd have to go with you. The 88 Blob. Sorry, Steve McQueen. But yeah, it's just there's a setup for a sequel. It's just really nice. I don't know. It gets the point across. 8 out of 10 blobs. Well, this has been Three Guys in a Sound Booth. I hope you enjoyed watching. This is your host, Kian Dowling Davis, signing off.
Later, haters.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being on.